There have been increasing reports of expanded drone strikes and military operations in Pakistan. Do you think that these operations help or hurt the U.S. strategy in combating extremism?
Well, I tell you this. I think that there's case to be made on both sides of the question. But what I want to say about it is, I'm very concerned because I don't think, as Congress, we have any consensus or really any idea as to when a targeted assassination uh, would be appropriate, meaning what quantum of proof would be necessary to show that this person has, has waged war in America, led to the death of Americans, and this action in some legal format might be justified. We haven't looked at what level of additional persons who are killed other than the target are acceptable in terms of whether to use such a targeted assassination and the technology associated with it, the so-called drone, predator drone. We haven't really thought this thing through at all. As a matter of fact, it's incredibly asymmetric. You got somebody sitting in a room far away from the battlefield manipulating a drone, and so we're in a situation where we can strike but don't run the risk of being struck back at in terms of these drone strikes, which in my view runs the risk that we're not going to be careful, responsible, judicious about and critical about the use of this technology. So I tell you this. I think the problem is not the drone. That is a piece of machinery. The problem is making a decision about a targeted assassination without the necessary legal, political, moral calculation in place, which I see no evidence that we're making. And I tell you, it's somewhat scary. Clearly, there have been a lot of reports about people, wedding parties being killed. Clearly, that is incredibly destructive. And if they hit somebody who is truly a bad actor, dangerous to Pakistan and the United States, and that's the only person they get, and they got the proof for it, and there's no anyone else killed associated with it, that might be justifiable and something that enhances security. But it's way more complicated than that, and I don't think we are approaching this with the requisite amount of care, safety, and apprehension.